Now, I was talking about Eckhart Tolle and his quote that came up today on my feed after I'd put a bunch of complaints about COVID-19 and masks and mainstream news telling lies of a massive brainwashing program that's run by the CIA called Project Mockingbird, which is about so I was complaining about that, and I was complaining about these masks of COVID-19 and how, well, anyway, then I read Eckhart Tolle, and he said, I'm complaining never to get you anywhere. And then I wanted to see, well, am I going to go and remove my posts that were complaint department posts because of Eckhart Tolle's advanced consciousness, enlightened consciousness saying, don't complain? I didn't know what I was going to do. I was going, what are we going to do about this? And in the end, we did nothing. We left our complaints up on our Facebook story fields, where people can come and see them. And did we take a snapshot of Eckhart Tolle doing it? Well, I think we did, but I'm not 100% sure. So it might get used again. So, you know, if Eckhart Tolle is so just because an external authority who clearly has got a great teaching program says something, apparently it doesn't mean that I'm going to change my behavior, which means that maybe I'm complaining in vain, but I'm still trying to plant seeds in people's consciousnesses that the way we live on planet Earth, where we give power to run governmental regulations to a small group of people, is very primitive, and it leads to bad outcomes. Instead, I would love to replace it with, I'm just going to change the mind control from what we were getting before to my spin on the mind control, so that you can see that we're going to use whatever mind control is going on to develop your consciousnesses. Some people spend a lot of time studying the symbology of what's going on around them, or maybe on like my video. So I do use this from time to time. And 33 is like a symbology number. $33 is just a number. You could like look it up. Number 33. And once you've looked it up and you know what it all is related to, then, you know, as you just go about your regular business, one day you see a license plate, and the license plate is, there's a 33 in the license plate. And then you wonder to yourself, is the universe trying to signal something related to what I know about the 33 symbology, meaning? And then you play a game with yourself called Sure. The game is basically whatever I've learned so far, the universe is going to use to give me more stuff for me to ponder. It's only like this parking angel thing came out like 30 years ago. The idea that there were intelligences in charge of organizing all of us on planet Earth, and all we have to do is realize that they're there for them to activate in our own reality. So the idea that parking angels could create parking spaces for you can be extended to, you know, the vast intelligence that is available to help us not be idiots, and, you know, organize ourselves. Like, you know, it would see like if you saw a flock of birds that all were doing that dance that certain flocks of birds do in the sky, or fish, schools of fish all turn, a school of fish, they all turn left at the exact same time, the whole school. Like these kind of things that, you know, you wouldn't normally think that a human can do unless they practice the dance on stage for like river dance or something, where it was a huge number of people all dancing. Synchronized swimming would be an example. But anyways. So anyway, the reason why we left these ideas that somehow we're sick of the COVID-19 changes, and you know, what I told someone today was, you know, they're never going to reopen the Canadian-American international border, because COVID-19 is going to be like the flu now. Because they're talking about, you know, they're going to have a vaccine. So, you know, your vaccine is only going to be good as this particular strain of COVID is out there. And then, you know, it's going to be like the flu. You know, every year there's a new flu. It could be like influenza A or B. And, you know, with the different other kinds of variations of the molecule of the flu viral coat. Which your immune system is too stupid to figure out on its own, so we have got to help it by injecting you with some molecules that we think are going to be actually flu molecules, so that we can help your stupid immune system get used to this particular molecule that we got from the actual molecule that we're worried about. So, you know, if they're going to continually tell you, well, that's just, you know, because they're already talking about like second wave of COVID, it's only a matter of time before they say, okay, well, you know, we've got the original COVID still back going around, plus we've got these mutated versions of it. So if they're going to test you for HIV, they're going to go and check the actual genetic code of your HIV. To see how much it's like other people's HIV, and, you know, these HIVs that they've been cooking up in the HIV research lab, where, you know, they study HIVs. And then they're going to use a gene sequencer to, you know, take whatever information they've got, and then, you know, they're going to just take a sample of something, and then this machine is going to give them this information. I mean, it's not like a human is actually looking at these individual molecules with like an electron microscope or something. No, it's a computer that does this. Originally, they're going to tell you that before gene sequencers were there, then a human would have to use a slide rule and a chalk blackboard in order to draw this thing out at the right angles, based upon physical chemistry and ideas about X-ray diffraction patterns of crystallized one kind of molecule, a crystal. And you could have very complicated molecules that could crystallize, that you could study with X-ray crystallography. So like a quartz crystal, which is, you know, something you could find on planet Earth in a proper mineable area, deposit of it. Well, you could get a nice crystal, and then you could study it. You could like send an X-ray beam at it, and then with the film of the X-ray that's aimed at your crystal, you can look at a film that's sensitive to X-rays to see, you know, what kind of patterns you got. And this was the history of the science of getting the angles of these different crystals, which would give them an idea of what the molecule looks like. so that you could reverse engineer a natural quartz crystal. And then you could figure out how this, whatever, binds with other things. You know, like, is this quartz crystal sensitive to strong acids? And much research was done physical sciences, chemistries,